Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A remarkable meeting between two true survivors with history dating back to World War II.
Always tough losing one of your college program's shining stars. It's to the NBA, and it's the head coach. We're live with a reaction from Ann Arbor.
A new animal abuse task force in Macomb County is taking a new and different approach to the problem. Thanks for being with us for the news here at 6. It's getting much tougher for animal abusers across the state of Michigan.
Penalties have increased. Now in Macomb County, there's a new task force in place to specifically target and prosecute animal abuse cases. Rod Maloney live now to tell us about the PAWS program and how this is different, Rod.
Yes, Devin, take a look. This is Sterling. A good-looking pooch there. Sadly, he didn't look this good when he'd been stabbed and left for dead in the icy cold Grant Park back in February. In fact, his owner has pled no contest in that, and he's going to have prison time. Now, his death launched a whole new approach to the issue of animal abuse. Macomb County Prosecutor Eric Smith says it's also about preventing animal abuse.
Is that I've never seen anything bring a community together like Sterling has.
Of course, there are other kinds of cases as well, like the Roseville dog hoarding case with 88 animals in one home. But it's the vicious abuse of animals prompting Smith to start PAWS, Protecting Animal Welfare and Safety Task Force, and to assign 3 prosecutors who will work with area police agencies to go after animal abusers because there's new research linking animal and domestic violence. State Humane Society Director Holly Tumilovich.
There's a correlation between animal abuse at a young age and future violence. We also know that there's a connection between domestic violence, elder abuse, child abuse.
2 of the 3 members of this unit are also assigned to the domestic violence unit. Because as Molly pointed out and I pointed out and so many studies have pointed out, we see such a crossover that we've got to do something to stop this.
Brian Pilar is East Point's Chief Animal Control Officer, and he's also part of the Detroit Pit Team, and he's happy to see this new effort.
Sometimes what you think of it is they've either had a past history with domestic abuse or domestic violence, and some of it is the start of some, it's like a gateway, and it's unfortunate.
So, remarkable about this new task force, PAWS, is that it's the first multi-jurisdictional task force in the entire state that's going to approach it this way. Devin, back to you.
So how is the task force going to work then, Rod?
Well, Devin, here's the thing. They're going to be approaching this as a crime, the gateway crime that they talked about, but they're going to be doing Humane Society training, and then officers are going to take these cases as they come up. They'll meet and try and execute a prosecution right away on this. Again, the whole point is to try and prevent animal abuse as it leads to other kinds of crimes.
Let's hope. All right, Rod.
Classes were canceled today at a school in southwest Detroit, and not for any of the usual reasons. This time it was crime. Someone burglarized Southwest Detroit Community School near West Grand and Michigan Avenue. Larry Spruill tells us what was taken and how the school is responding.
School is closed Monday here at Southwest Detroit Community School after police say someone broke into every room inside the school over the weekend. Local 4 there Monday morning as police investigate what happened. You can see crime scene technicians at the school gathering evidence. I reached out to the school. A spokesperson tells me the school was burglarized and numerous electronic items were stolen. That spokesperson emailed me this statement. It says, in part, our building for the most part is intact and we are working today to restore the classrooms that were disrupted. This is a community school and we know how important it is for our students, families, and staff to feel safe.
And the school tells me they are working with police as part of this investigation. They are also working to turn over the surveillance video from inside the school over the weekend. We're live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Larry, we said the school's closed today. Any word on tomorrow?
Well, Kimberly, I talked to the school earlier today. They tell me they will resume school first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Okay, Larry. Devin.
Kimberly, pretty telling when Ben's first question earlier today was, is your air conditioner ready? You're not going to need it tonight.
Yeah.
But that is where we're headed, right?
You're thinking, looking at these numbers, what are you
Not
talking
so much.
about? I mean, if we saw these numbers in the morning, we wouldn't blink an eye, but this is mid-May, and we have average highs near 70 degrees. We've been nowhere close. Plus, we had the clouds on top of it and a north wind. This just does not feel like we're in the middle of spring. We will be seeing some improvement, though, as we get through the upcoming forecast. The rest of tonight, temperatures falling into the 40s, even in the metro zone. The clouds are going to be thinning, but it's going to be a little bit late to enjoy that sunshine. We get plenty of sun tomorrow, and we start looking at temperatures not only are getting to average, but we're talking well above it, and we're looking at that in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that and look for some very cool numbers in your 4-zone forecast coming up. Don't forget to download our Local Forecasters app. It does have interactive radar, severe weather alerts, and a lot more, all in the palm of your hand. Download it for free in your app store by searching WDIV. Kim?
Well, today we look back on a legendary life. Mourners filled Hartford Memorial Baptist Church in Detroit for a final farewell to Judge Damon J. Keith. Keith was a federal judge of integrity, a man whose rulings championed equality and civil rights. In one of the federal judiciary's longest and most prolific careers, Judge Keith was a fountainhead of regional rulings with national implications. He attacked racial segregation in education, housing, and employment, conservative efforts to limit African-American voting, and after the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, secret hearings to deport hundreds of immigrants deemed suspicious. Today, friends, family, and admirers said goodbye.
After I cried, I realized, yes, he was 96 years old. Yes, he was slowing down, but I was completely unprepared to fathom a world without Damon Jerome Keith. No more words of wisdom, no more speaking for the last, the lost, and the left out.
The grandson of slaves, Keith was the longest-serving black judge in the country when he died April 28th at his home in Detroit.
Big news alert that may have had you doing a double take this morning. Certainly did for me. Was out of Ann Arbor. Michigan basketball coach John Beilein stepping down to take a job with the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers. Reaction has been all over the map from fans today, still reeling from this. Jason Colthorpe has been in Ann Arbor today. He's now at the Chrysler Center. Did we ever get any sign at all of the coach today, Jason?
No sign of the coach, Devin. However, when a car pulled into the coach's parking spot here just a few minutes ago, we were excited. We might get a chance to talk to the coach about why he did this, what's next, all of that. But as it turns out, it was just a guy who said he figured nobody would be needing this space for a while. Maybe so, but as we found out around campus today, it's a little too soon for the jokes. Bad news traveled fast this morning across UM's campus and mostly via text.
It's like crying emojis all over, and people being like, why,
John Beilein's 12-year run in Ann Arbor is over as he jumps to the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers. In a tweet, the coach thanked everyone and said it was a heck of a ride and go blue forever.
We're doing good, but now it's just going to go downhill as we're losing our best players and our best coach. So,
we just have to thank him for setting up the foundation for us, and then hopefully we can move on from there.
We got good talent, but he's a great coach, so it makes you kind of nervous a little bit.
While fans are stunned, they are mostly happy for Beilein, who turned the program back into a national power.
Good luck to him, but I don't like Cleveland, so.
Oh yeah, Beilein's new home is a little bit of a sore subject as well.
it's pretty sad. Also, Ohio.
Exactly, not Ohio.
Come on, ladies, right here.
He went to the Cavs. We don't talk about it.
And if fans could say anything to the coach who took them to 2 national title games and 4 Big Ten titles, it would be this.
You're a traitor. I'm just kidding. Okay, but no, thank you, Sue. We love you.
He's been a great coach. He's done a lot of good things with the program and made put Michigan kind of back on the map with basketball.
Michigan will always love you.
But it still hurts.
It still hurts, though.
We'll remember this.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll hear from the coach at some point at a press conference, whether it's here or in Cleveland. But in addition to all those titles, what you really need to know is he did what was almost impossible 12 years ago. He renewed the rivalry with Michigan State, even maybe surpassing Michigan State for a couple of years there. And as great a coach as he was, if you knew him at all or had dealt with him on occasion, he was an even better person, a true gentleman, an ambassador, not just to the game of basketball, but also the University of Michigan. And I think that's what people should remember about John Beilein.
Well, I think that's exactly right, Jason. But interestingly, when he took that job 12 years ago, it wasn't exactly on the radar as being a great basketball job. He changed that as well. It changes the sort of the class of candidates, right, for the position now.
You know what's even more impressive is of all that he's had a lot of players leave early. None of them were McDonald's All-Americans, and all of them had like an average recruiting number of like in the 80s. He just was an absolutely great coach. It'll be fun to watch what he does at the next level.
Sure will. I'm also worried about this vulture who's already swooped into his parking place. That didn't take long at all. Yeah. All right, Jason. Thanks.
A Detroit man is charged after allegedly shooting a man and hitting him with his car near Grand Circus Park. Richard Allen was charged with assault with intent to murder after shooting a 20-year-old man and then hitting him with his car. That happened last week. Police say they arrested Allen after he was speeding past them and then he crashed into a parked car. He then ran from the car where police tracked him down. The victim was taken to the hospital to be treated. Allen will be in court later this week.
Search is on for a man wanted for trying to steal about $600 worth of clothes.
Bloomfield Township Police say this man tried walking out of a TJ Maxx with 2 shopping bags worth of clothes. He was confronted as he tried to leave, and that's when he dropped the bags and took off in a white Dodge Durango. If you know who he is, call Bloomfield Township Police.
Not just Michigan, where it's been a very busy Monday. Let's check in with Lester Holt and see what's coming up on NBC Nightly News at 6:30.
Lester joins us live from New York with a preview. Good evening, Lester.
Hey, Kim and Devin. Coming up tonight, our exclusive interview with the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines about their fatal crash and the future of Boeing 737 MAX airplanes. Also, I sit down with Oscar-nominated director Ava DuVernay and the men branded the Central Park Five about a new Netflix drama on the case.
Yeah, we look forward to watching. So have those men, have they been able to move on with their lives, Lester?
Well, as you know, they were ultimately convicted and then cleared of a rape of a jogger in Central Park in 1989. They got a big settlement from the city of New York, $41 million. That's allowed them to pick up physically with their families and relocate in some cases. But they say they'll have a hard time living down the stigma associated with that wrongful conviction.
I'm sure.
No doubt. More on that coming up here about 20 minutes from now. We'll see you then. Thanks, Lester. No fear of missing out, FOMO, real thing, no doubt about it. But how is it affecting our spending? We've got some really interesting numbers coming up.
Plus, here's Steve.
Near the end of World War II, he was a soldier who helped liberate the concentration camps in Poland. She was a survivor in one of those camps, and today they reunited. Painful memories, but memories that none of us dare ever forget. Coming up.
America's Game is celebrating America the Beautiful. And what could go wrong in Washington, D.C.?
Hey, we're trying to work here.
Wheel of Fortune tonight at 7, only on Local 4.